Hi, so in this video we'll talk about 2.5, which is the inequality and interval notation. So look at this one, interval notation. So when x in between a and b, usually on the left side, that means a smaller number, on the right is the bigger number. So for the interval notation, since there's an equal sign in here, so it will be bracket, that means including a, and then comma, b including b. So on the graph, you should see from a to b, including a, that's a solid dot, b, another solid dot, and then including it. So it would be this part in between a and b. So, okay, what about just the inequality sign without the equal sign? So since there are any equal sign, we use a bracket to represent that. So we have parentheses a, comma b, parentheses. And then when it comes to the graph, it's going to be, since it's not including a, so that means it's going to be a circle because it's not including a, and then everything in between a and b. Okay, so what if equal on one side and then not equal on the other side? That means, okay, this interval, we call it closed interval, and this one is open interval. So this one is called half open, half closed. So we write it, hey, since a is including, so it's bracket, a, comma, b, parentheses. So on the graph, I'm going to erase this one. We're running out of space. So on the graph, this is going to look like a, b. So when it comes to a, it's going to be a solid because it's including a. Not including b, it's going to be a circle. And then in between. Everything in between a and b. Okay, so what about less than a, but greater than a, but less than or equal than b? Okay, so this is going to be not including a, parentheses. When it comes to b, there's an equal sign in here, so it's bracket. So on the graph, when it comes to not including a, it's going to be a circle. Including b, it's going to be a solid dot. And then here. Okay, x greater than or equal to a. Look at so greater than or equal than a, so that means everything greater than a, including a, so that would be a to infinity. So what does this look like? Oh, let me erase these. So I have infinity, that means towards that side. You put an arrow to it, and then including a, solid dot a, and then including infinity. It's going to be here. So just greater than a, that means not including a. Everything greater than a, that means from a to infinity. So that gives you parentheses. Since infinity means you never be able to include in infinity, so that means you have to be always be parentheses. Okay, a, circle, and then all the way to infinity. Okay, less than a, that means what number is less than a? That means to the left. So I have negative infinity to a, including a, right? So on the graph should be a, but to negative infinity, which means to the left. And then this is similar, negative infinity to a, but not including a. So this time we have a, but a circle, and then to negative infinity. Okay, all the real number. All the real number means from negative infinity to positive infinity. That means everything on the number 9. You just include in them. Okay, so compound interest. So solve the inequality and graph the solution set and write down the solution set in the interval notation. So remember, when you see the fraction, we want to get rid of the denominator by multiply the least common denominator. In this case, we have 3, 4, and 6. That means the least common denominator would be 12. Okay, we multiply 12 for every terms. Remember every terms. Now we can simplify it. 12 and 3, you have 4 left. You will have 4 times x plus 2 minus 3 left, right? 3 times 3, less than or greater than, less than or equal to, 12 and 6, you have a 2 left. So this is 2x plus 1 times 12. Okay, now we simplify it with 4x plus 2 less than 9, less than or equals to 2x plus 12. And then you move all the variable terms to the left and all the constant terms to the right. So we subtract 2x on both sides. Also, we want to add 9 on both sides and minus 2 on both sides. So we have 2x less than or equals to 19. And then we still need to divide it by 2 on both sides. So as long as there's no, you don't divide it or multiply negative number, we treat it just like equal function, the way that we solve it. So we divide it by 2 on both sides, you have a negative 19 over 2. Okay, so negative 19 over 2 is what? Approximately 10 point, that's a 9.5. Did I do anything wrong? I found a mistake. I did that all the time. You may already caught my mistake. So here, you need to have 4 times x and then 4 times 2. So this should be 8. So instead of subtract 2, we need to subtract 8. Okay. So when you subtract 8, you have 4 plus, so you have 13. So instead of 19, we have 13 over 2, which is approximately 6.5, right? So since there's an equal sign, we know that, hey, this is 13 over 2 because it's 6.5 in between 6 and 7. And then a solid because there's an equal sign. And then everything including would be this way because it's less than. Look at the arrow. It's pointing to the left. So that means we need to what? To the negative sign. So we have negative infinity to 13 half, including that. So bracket. So that's the notation and that's the drawing. Okay. Now compound interest. If you see this, not compound interest, compound inequality, that means what? You can interpret it as 12 less than 3x minus 6 and the middle part 3x minus 6 less than or equals to 0. And you solve each one individually. Okay, I'm going to solve the left one first. So let me subtract 3x less than negative 6 at 12, which is 6, and then divided by negative 3, you switch the sign. So if x is equals greater than negative 2, and then let me use a different color pen. Oh, let me draw this on the graph. So x is greater than negative 2. So not including 2. Oh, sorry. So not including 2 and everything pointed to the right. So it's from 2 to infinity. Okay, now let's solve the second part. I'm going to use I was about to use the purple one. Now it's messed up. Let me erase these and just use the green one. So greater than negative 2, but not including negative 2. So you need to have a circle when it comes to negative 2. Okay, so now let's solve this side. So I have 3x minus 6 next to them or equals to 0. So I have 3x next to them or equals to 6, and then x next to them or equals to 2. So remember, this is AND. So now let's draw the purple one. So x is less than or equals to 2 will be in here, including 2, and then pointing to the left. Okay, since it's AND, what's that mean? AND means you need to find the overlap part, the part that they're overlapping. So now let's take a look which part they're overlapping. Well, definitely here, right? From 2 to negative 2. This part they're overlapping. Okay, so that means the solution should be the overlapping part. You need to erase the part that's not overlapping. So I have what? Look at the graph so you can write it. I have parentheses, negative 2, 2, 2, bracket, because 2 is included, negative 2 is not included. Okay, so or means what? So we need to solve these two individually. Okay, let me use different color pen. Let me use a red one. So I have negative 7x plus 9 greater than negative 5. So 7x, subtract 9 on both sides, I have negative 14. And then x divided by negative 7, you need to switch the sign. So I have a negative 14 divided by negative 7, which means x is less than 2. Okay, draw that on the graph. X less than 2, not including 2, less than 2 in here. Okay, now the second part. Second part, I'm going to use a blue one. Or x plus 9 greater than 14. So I have, you add 9 on both sides. So I have x greater than 23. Oh no, I mean subtract 9. Oh my god. So 14 subtract 9. So that means x is greater than 5. Or, so now let's draw this part. X greater than or equal to 5, equal sign, and this part. Okay, and means overlap. Or means you need to including everything. Everything on the graph. So that means what? Everything on the graph, we have from negative infinity to 2 parentheses, because it's not including 2. Union, since it's all, because you want to put these two parts together, we use a union. 5 is included. So it's 5 to positive infinity. So that would be the solution interval. Okay, that's it for 2.5. Let me know if you have any questions.